hottest take for the season. Goat, let's start with yours. I like it because it involves the Bulls being a high-volume three-point shooting team this season.
Oh, that's up his alley.
I think last year, Coby set the franchise record for most three-pointers made in a Chicago Bulls season with 209. My bold prediction is that Coby White breaks that record and sets a new franchise record for most threes in a season. And also Zach LaVine breaks that record and sets a new franchise record for threes in a season.
Okay.
You're looking at 50 threes going up in preseason games, 47.8 per game on average over the preseason, second most in the league. They're putting up shots like that. I think both those guys can surpass that number.
The new Steph and Clay.
Splash Brothers.
Oh, man.
I dig it. Mr. Purdue, your hot take, and you kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but if you kind of want to add to it right now, when you're talking about Peter Patton and the role he's playing, your hot take is that you think there's a chance we see a major step of improvement from Patrick Williams and his game this season. What specifically, as far as his game, do you think could be what opens that door for him? We talk about wanting to see Patrick as like, a 3-level scorer in this league and having not really seen much of that yet. Do you think that is possible?
Yes.
Okay.
But I think just his aggression, and I think we saw it in the last preseason game. I think he's starting to realize that he can get to the rim and dunk over people.
Ooh.
He did do that. Yeah.
I loved seeing that.
Yeah.
And I just think that if he sticks with Peter Patton and listens and stays healthy, that's been an issue, that this stuff will start to come. And not only because of Peter Patton, but P. Will's two biggest fans are Coby and Io.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think they're also going to be in his ear about, this is what we need from you. Nothing less. Plenty more. Because not only has this franchise now invested in you, but that means that we've invested in you because we're part of this franchise. And we need you to do better. Listen, we all know what his personality is like, and I'll be very clear. I've met him. I've met his parents. I hope that as my son, who's now a junior in college, even though my son's basically the same age, has a lot of his traits. He makes eye contact. Yes, sir. No, sir. He's very respectful. But he's got to, as Pop says, he's got to find he's got to find some nasty. And I think that because of the support he's getting now and the lack of obstacles in front of him, the only obstacle in front of him now is him. Before, there were other obstacles that he couldn't control.
Right.
Those have been eliminated. They're gone. And I think that now he's a smart kid. I think he's realizing if I don't succeed now, this is on me. There's no other excuse. And I think that's also how they're now selling it to him.
Jeff Rocks in the comments saying Patrick Williams taking a big step forward qualifies as a scorching hot take, not just a hot take. Dysfunctional saying it's a hot take to guess that Patrick Williams stays healthy for an entire season. You just touched on that too, Purdue.
But I'm not saying he's going to jump to a 20-point plus per game scorer. What's his career average, Will?
10 points.
10 points. Yep.
I'm saying that now we're looking at a guy that if things go well, and it's going to take a little time, he could be that guy that could give you consistently 16 to 18 a night.
That would qualify, I think, as a big jump.
That's a huge jump, yeah.
But I also feel like that he's starting to realize that when you're not having a good shooting night, there is a place where you can still score.
Yes.
It's called the free throw line.
Yes.
Woo.
Preach, Will.
I don't know if Patrick knows what that is. I would love to see it. Would love to see Patrick significantly bump up his free throw attempts this season. And we've talked about the void of free throw attempts that DeMar DeRozan's absence is going to, leave this team. And
Yeah.
Listen, it's a lot, but you said hot take.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you a lukewarm take.
I love it.
No, it's not how you roll.
Speaking of which,
my hot take is Coby's going to be in the All-Star team.
We have opposing views related to Nikola Vucevic here between Big Dave and our producer Katie Dovey.
Okay.
When it comes to hot takes.
Okay.
And I hate
But
to
hold
bring
on
it
a
to
second.
you, Katie.
Wait a minute. You just put Katie in a bad position because she said, I remind you, I can't talk.
I know. I know she can't defend herself right now. And I don't think she needs to defend this take.
Yeah, it's not to defend.
Because I'm about to share with y'all what Katie's hot take is.
These are hot takes.
Nikola Vucevic is the most frustrating player on this Bulls roster. He's a perpetual double-double, but a very empty double-double. You say that to a field of Bulls fans, and not one of them will claim that that's a hot take. I think that most Bulls fans believe that is a very reasonable take.
Very
because
true.
Most Bulls fans share that very same opinion.
I told you she would let you know you're the number one fan.
Number one fan. There it is. Number one fan.
Hey,
Katie, let me show you how it's done with a Vooch hot take.
Katie, put up 3 fingers. No, put up 3 fingers.
I only saw one just now.
No, I can't do it on TV. No. Now put them together and tell them to read between the lines.
Read between the lines, man. Read between the lines.
Conversely, Big Dave.
Yeah.
Your hot take on Vooch.
Mine is a hot take. That's what I'm talking about.
Is that he will have his best season since 2021.
You heard me.
The year that the Bulls made the midseason trade for then All-Star.
Yes.
When he was shooting
Orlando
40%
Magic
from 3.
Version of Vooch.
Yeah.
Explain yourself.
So thank you. And shout out to Katie. So the reason I say this is this. We talked a lot about Patrick Williams, and you just said it, Will, things being removed from him to allow him to do his thing. Well, that goes for Vooch too. That goes for him as well. So you've talked a lot about a big man not running because he's not getting the ball, and Vooch actually now running because he gets the rebound and he's getting out on the break. Well, he wasn't doing that a lot, because he knew he might not be the option, to get the basketball. I think now Vooch knows that he might be that second option on his team for sure. He might be that guy. And also, we saw a lot of it in the preseason. Watch how he played in the preseason, because I said it several times, how he was moving out there. I was like, this dude looks a little extra spry, and and how he's moving and playing out there. And if you looked at his numbers in that preseason, you look at the box score, and it'd be like 18 and 12 and 6 assists and a block in less than 20 minutes. And you were like, oh, shit. Like, oh, okay, Vooch is doing something. I think we will continue to see that because he will have more touches than he has had previously, because obviously you had DeMar DeRozan and you had DeMar also in the post, in the mid-range game, where Vooch likes to kind of operate and do his thing. Well, he's not there anymore. They will give him all the room he needs to maneuver. Patrick Williams is not going to fight him for that. So he will get all the room he needs to do what he likes to do down there in that post, clearing out and also passing out of it, because he's always been a really excellent passer out of the post. He's one of the best passing centers. I think you will see him have his best season that he has had in a while since he's had it in this Bulls uniform, because he will have space to do what he wants to do, which leads to your mental being okay.
I think that's a great point too, because of the pace that we talked about.
Correct.
When there are so many more possessions, I mean, their pace was like 110 in preseason. I don't think it'll be quite that high during the regular season, but there's just more opportunity. The game is coming to them a little bit more easily. You're not having to create as much. You're just like finding gaps in the system, in the flow of the offense. And I think Vooch really succeeded in that through those preseason games. So I think his numbers will look a lot bigger. I think Kobe's, Zach's, all of them. Like, they're just going to be putting up more points because, one, there's like a DeMar-sized hole in the offense that they need to replace. But two, some of those points should just come easier in the flow of the game, in transition, more spaced out threes, like attacking closeouts. The defenses that they're playing are constantly going to be tilted because of the pace that the Bulls are trying to play. And it's not always going to be 100%, and they're not always going to be hitting all their threes every night. But I just think that offense should come a lot easier for this team. It's really the defensive side where it's like, okay, you're going to be scoring enough, but like, can you get enough stops to actually come out ahead in the scoring?
Agree. Shout out Katie, hot take.
Hey.
Dang, I said something nice and she told me I was number one.
Reading the comments said, I don't think Vooch would be getting more shots up, and that he wanted those shots to go to the young guys. Specifically, I think he said he wants Coby taking 20 to 25 a night. 20 maybe, but we're talking about this fast-paced offense. I don't know if Coby is going to be that much of a, like, I am the guy usage-wise to be shooting 25 shots a night. Okay, to round out hot takes, and we are going to go a little long today because it's a big season preview episode. We got the whole crew here. So, just as a reminder, because we're giving you a little extra juice today, if you haven't done it yet, hit that like button like Katie's been reminding you to do in the comments. Tone and I had a kind of similar hot take in that both of ours were related to Matas Buzelis. Tony Gill just said, Matas is everything we thought Patrick Williams was going to be. Big, bold hot take right there. I said, Matas is starting 20 or more games this year.
And that's a hot take, baby.
Why?
I like it.
Take your pick. Patrick Williams, remaining the underwhelming version of Patrick Williams, the only one we've ever known as Bulls fans. Injuries that maybe aren't super serious injuries, but this team has ulterior motives and trying to do some things. We heard Billy Donovan say in a 670 interview, not this morning, but the one, a few weeks ago, hey, maybe part of Matas' development is getting some run in the G League. And I threw a million hats and said, are you kidding me? You just spent an entire season there. You just drafted him with the 11th pick. Play this kid. And then we've gradually seen some preseason action, and we, heard Billy talk about the role and his rotation and going 10 deep again today. And now we're talking about, hey, maybe Matas actually is going to be maybe not playing a bunch of minutes, but have a role off the bench on this team this season. Mm-hmm. I think we will get to the end of this season, and he will have already progressed beyond just, I have a role, and that role is off the bench. I think he will progress to a point of, I have a role, and some nights it's me starting. And I want that to happen, and I think it will happen.
Okay. All right. I'm with it.
That's still only what? A quarter of the season?
Yeah.
20 games of 82?
Yeah.
Give me that.
So you're seeing it more towards the end of the season when
spot starts in the first half of the season, and then when we make our way into those final, 2.5 months of the season, starting lineups with Matas Buzelis, Tim Sinclair, start practicing how you want to say Matas Buzelis as a starter, because it's happening. It's freaking happening.
I'm with it.
We all silly like the mayor.